hope that you're doing well and that your day is off to an amazing start. And so today, while I'm getting ready, I wanted to share with you some lessons about leadership and about equipping our leaders, which I learned yesterday from an amazing trainer called Lily Zaremba. So she was basically showing us the importance of becoming great leaders ourselves, and then also helping the individuals in our teams or individuals that we're working with, whether it's business, whether it's school, to become better leaders, right? So let's dive into this. Good morning, Harrison. I hope that you're doing well. It's been a while. I hope that everything is going well. Sorry. So I was basically speaking about leadership, right? And then we're going to zoom into this. So the first thing that she said, you know how we've heard all the time that monkey see, monkey do, right? I'm sure that we've heard this over and over so many times. And so she was basically saying that all the time we are leading by example. We have to model the kind of behavior, the kind of attitude, the kind of characteristics that we want to develop in our leaders, right? So she says that at all the time, we need to make sure that the things that we are doing are actually, thank you so much for appreciating, boss. I really appreciate too, Harrison. Thanks too for always joining in and then bringing the support. So as I was saying, basically, a key thing is that our teammates are modeling our behavior, right? So what kind of behaviors are you and I putting in place to make sure that they are able to model the things that we actually want to happen in our business, right? Or able to model the kind of behavior that we actually feel is important to make our business grow, right? So she said that this is a very key thing. That's one of the first steps. So she said that we should let our upcoming leaders see us going through the process themselves. It's not like we'll say, okay, go and do this, but then we are not doing that, right? That is not how she said that we build leaders. If we want our leaders to do things, they need to see us doing those things themselves. I was reading a book by John C. Maxwell. You know, like how he has so many books about leadership. I'm only on his second book. I'm definitely going to get more from him. Well, he's talking about the 5 levels of leadership. And then he shared this scenario where one of the presidents in the US, he went to the battlefield. You know how they had all these wars in their past. So he went to the battlefield, and then he watched one of the commanders giving his men an instruction. They needed to lift something. It was really heavy. And then he saw that the commander was standing there. And then he kept saying to the men, you have to do this. You have to do this, hold here, do that, do that. And then this president asked the man that, but won't you go and help your people? And the gentleman was like, oh, but I'm the boss, I'm the boss. So he was trying to imply that because he's the boss, he's not supposed to go and then help the people whom he's working with. And then that president told him that, okay, so that president said, okay, well, if you're the boss, then that's fine. Well, I'm going to help. And he actually went, and then he helped the men to put that heavy thing in position, right? And so from this example, John C. Maxwell was trying to say that we need to lead by example. Just as the president went. So, next time, I'm sure that if the man, hi, Max morning. I'm just doing some morning motivation. I'll put in my mind speed on, right? So what's this example? What's John C. Maxwell trying to say with this example is that the president led by example. He actually went to help the men. He didn't just watch them do what he wanted them to do or do what needed to be done. So I'm very sure that the next time that this man is instructing his men to do something, he's going to go in and help them, right? Because he got a positive example from the president. And so, that's what yesterday's training, the leader of yesterday's training was trying to say. Thanks so much for joining. Bless you. I hope that you're having an amazing day. So she was trying to say basically that if you are leading, you need to show people that you're also ready to do the actions. That it's not just like you're saying, oh, go and do this, go and do that. No, you have to be in there doing the actions with them. And so we should model the tasks that we want done. And I know that also in my business, I also try to do this because, of course, I'm trying to be a great leader and then build great leaders in my team, or excellent leaders, right? So I also try as much as possible to model. So if I say that, okay, so today we're going to be dealing with client relationships, I try to showcase them showcase to them, right, how exactly I'm working with my clients. I try to make posts on our WhatsApp page that show exactly how I'm working with my clients, right? So it's not just I'm saying, okay, so we need to be improving our customer relationships, or we need to support our clients in this way or that way, and then I'm not doing it myself. I don't do that. So I try as much as possible to share my interactions with my clients also on my page, right? On our group page. So they see that, okay, so it's not just I'm saying that this was put it in business, but then we are all doing the thing together. Because at the end of the day, that's how we're going to grow. We're not going to grow by me giving out instructions. Like, that's not the point of leadership, right? I think leadership is by action, and so I need to take my own action too. And so I very much do this, and then guide my teammates, show them by example that this is how we're supposed to do our business, go about our business. You know, for example, another key thing that I do is that I like to be on as many business presentations as possible, because first of all, you know, I think that we found this amazing opportunity. It's important to tell others, and so I join these business presentations whenever I can. And by doing so, I'm also modeling. I'm also trying to model to my teammates that this is one of the key things that we need to do in our business, right? So it's not just I'm saying, oh, go and learn how to present, but then I'm actually learning how to present too. And you know, I think this is something that my team leader is called Dr. Kelvin. He taught us this too. During COVID, we started to do online presentations. Initially, we had everything like physically and all that, you know, but then I guess COVID like really brought different lessons, right? So when COVID came, we started to do business presentations virtually. And then when we started to do these virtually, he told us that, okay, so he's going to be distributing, like he's going to allot leaders to do different kinds of presentations, to do different kind of trainings. And so we all had to start training, we all had to start learning. And the first time he approached me, like, I mean, so next week you're on the bill for training. I was like, hey, that's like Kelvin, I don't know how to do it. So he was like, well, you have to learn. What I can do is I can do a rehearsal with you and then show you how it's done. And so we did the rehearsal. He showed me how to do the training, the presentation, right, the business presentation. And I was actually able to do it. You know, I was actually able to go out there and then present to people. And you know, just by leading by example, you know, because he had initially done the presentation lots of times. And then I guess by doing that, he showed us that it's possible. So when he reached out to me, although initially I was like, I can't do this, I eventually had to accept. And then I did it, and then it actually worked out, right? And so that is another sign, right, that he wanted us to also grow to become better leaders. Because in our business, we see that if you have that capacity to present, then you are developing your leadership capacity as well. Because of course, if you have a business opportunity and then you're not able to present it to people, you know, it's also, to me, it hinders your growth in the business in a little way, right? Because of course, people want to learn about what you're doing, then you're like, I need to hand over to somebody, or like I need to let somebody else do it. And I'm saying this, I'm not saying that immediately you come and expect it to start, because it took me like 2 years or something before I eventually presented, right? What I'm trying to say is that eventually you have to want to learn, you have to have that desire to learn. Because I believe that anything that we set up our minds to do, we can actually learn. Like today, see me putting on makeup. I really wasn't this good. I've been learning and I'm still learning, right? But then basically what I mean is that we can basically do anything we want to do if we set up our minds to do it, right? And so with the same way that he started presenting, he got us all to eventually become more confident, much better presenters. And today, even if he's not there and then like he's engaged with something, we can confidently present because he's shown us how to do it. In the same way we are now doing with leaders in our team. So I've been asking my teammates, I've been like, okay, so I need to start putting you on the bill to present, because of course I want them to also get to that level where they are confident and they feel like I'm capable of doing this. Even if Irene is not there to present, I got this. I can show people opportunity. I can show them exactly how it's going to help them, right? And so that is one key thing that I'm also doing to grow. So I'm modeling what I want my teammates to do, right? And so let's go to the second point. So the second point is showing up consistently. The first one was modeling behavior, right? Like monkey see, monkey do. The next one is showing up consistently. showing up consistently. I think that as time has gone on, we've all learned that consistency actually pays off. That's the word I was looking for. Consistency actually pays off. And if we are consistent with different things, they actually will work out for us. The truth is that sometimes in life, like, we want to rush on certain things. And of course, it's good to take action on those things, but then we need to be consistent enough and then know that it will probably take some time for the results to come. Recently, I saw this post from Neighbor Ravikant on Twitter, and he was saying that impatience with action and patience with results. So basically, saying that for the action, we need to drive ourselves, act. But when it comes to results, we need to be patient. So basically, when it comes to results, we need to know that we have to keep on going consistently in order to get the results that we want, right? And so, as leaders, we also need to model consistency. How are we actually doing? Are we doing the presentations? Are we telling clients about our products? Are we making the sales consistently? Are we making the posts on our status, on our WhatsApp? Are we creating the content consistently? How are we being consistent and then inspiring our team members to do the same? Because if we want our teammates to develop into leaders eventually, then we need to show them the power of consistent action, and we need to show them that we are taking this consistent action ourselves, right? So consistency is key. As leaders, we should show up consistently if we expect our leaders to show up consistently too. And I think that the third point is that we should interact and communicate as much as possible. And so yesterday's trainer, Lily Zaremba, she was saying that sometimes you tell your teammates, or you ask them to do particular things, right? And then you don't show why that thing is relevant at that point. So then your teammates were like, okay, so Irene says that this, Irene says that that. But then it's important to also connect it to the vision, right? So when you're communicating with your teammates, how are you connecting the things that you feel are necessary for business goals for you, or how are you connecting to the vision, right? So it's important to do that. So at the end of the day, it's not like you're just saying lots of things, but then you're actually connecting them. All of us want to have that sense of purpose, that reason for doing particular things. So Lily was like, the more that you communicate clearly the reason why this particular action is important at this time, and it's important for everybody to support the team on this particular action at this time, the more that you do that, the more that people are actually inclined to come in and then support the team with that particular action or with that particular thing, right? So that together we can all win. So she said that communicate clearly the vision, interact with your teammates as much as possible. And then she was saying that an important thing in doing this is that you need to speak positively, right? And then I think that this is something that we can all learn how to do better, right? How to make sure that we are not offensive in our communication or anything, right? But then we are bringing constructive feedback, positive feedback, And one thing that I like to do when I'm interacting with my teammates is maybe there's this thing that I think that they could fix or they could do better. I've learned from leaders that it's really good to start from where or how you were faulting that particular thing, and then have come to learn how to do that thing better. So for example, you could tell them, so I wasn't good at presenting. I eventually learned through this way or that way. I wasn't this or I wasn't that. So then start from where you were faulty, right? Don't just go and tell them that, oh no, this presentation that you did, that's not how we do it. Of course, the person will take offense, right? And I think that these are all key principles that we can all learn more, because at the end of the day, we want to grow our business, our organization, our school, our team at work. Then definitely communication is a key thing that we need to learn. Because as we've all heard the saying, communication is key. I'm sure that we've heard this multiple times, right? The fact that communication is key. And so let's learn how to better communicate the vision. I'm sure that if we search online, we'll find different resources to help us to do so, right? So communication. When I post on my team page, another thing is that I try as much as possible to connect it to the vision, to connect it to why we are doing what we are doing, to connect it to why this particular action is going to help other people, right? So I think that that's another thing that can also help in terms of communication, that can also help us in terms of communication. So communicate, interact with our teammates. The third point. The fourth point is also to motivate, keep empowering your team. Once you're the head of the team, then you have a huge responsibility, because you need to help your team grow so that they can also go on, and then you need to help them grow, you need to help them become better leaders so that they can also go on to help other people to become better leaders, right? So keep on motivating, keep on empowering. Each and every one of us has a particular purpose, and it's our jobs to keep reminding our teammates that they got this, they're on their way to achieving their purpose. It's our job to keep connecting them how the daily actions we are doing can support them to go ahead and then fulfill their purpose, right? So it's our job to keep on motivating, to keep on empowering, and to keep on reminding people that they are powerful and that they actually, sometimes when you go into a new environment, you feel like, hey, these are new things, I can't do them, I can't do this, I'm not good at this, I'm not good at that. So it's you as a team leader, your responsibility to show people that it's actually possible. That while they may think that some things are difficult to do, but then they actually are as individuals very much capable of doing those things once they learn how to do them, or once they take some time to model some particular behavior, right? So it's our job to inspire and to motivate them. So I try as much as possible to at least once daily to post something that is motivation. Either it's something that I'll see from something I've read, or it's a video, or it's from a speaker, or it could be like a picture post, But daily, find some ways to help your team to grow, to help your teams become the best, highest version of themselves that they can be. Because it's by doing so that we can all fulfill our purpose, right? It's by doing so that we can all go out and then become those amazing people that God intends us to be, right? And then it's by doing so that we can all go out and then impact as many people as possible with the opportunity that we have, whether it's a product that we have for people, whether it's a service that's provided for people. If we go out and then motivate our teammates, we'll all be better positioned to go out and then impact people positively with that product or with that service. And then another key thing, of course, is that leaders, we need to keep learning, we need to keep growing, we need to keep improving ourselves, Recently, I think I was speaking about this video that I saw where Busi Tembekwai, the amazing South African speaker, he was saying that when we get a degree, after we get a degree, whether it's first degree, master's, PhD, we need to say, okay, so I've gotten this degree now, I've learned all that knowledge already, I need to keep building on that knowledge. So basically was saying that it's not like you've gotten the degree and then you're done, like you're finished. He said that we need to keep on building on that knowledge. We can't just be done like that, right? We need to keep on making sure that we are finding different avenues to learn. And yesterday I was listening to this shorts clip, I think on my LinkedIn or somewhere, a video from this entrepreneur called Alex Formosi. And Alex was saying that if he was 20 years now, I think he's about 30 now, but he's saying that if he was at 20 years now, or in his 20s now, what he'll do is that he would invest a lot of the money that he's earning from, is it a business, is it a job, wherever he is, he'd invest a whole lot of money that he's earning into personal development. Because he believes that with personal development, then he'll be able to get the skills that can help him to advance in life quicker, right? Because if he's paying somebody for the skill that they have, it means that he doesn't have to go through the mistakes that they went through, because with the skill that they have, he can also quickly build upon those skills, quickly adapt them, and then quickly move with them, And so a key thing, what I'm trying to say is that learning is key, right? Learning is important. We can't forgo the importance of it. Even after we are done with school, we need to keep finding different platforms to learn. Thankfully, these days, there are so many platforms, right? We can have a podcast playing on our way to work, on our way to school, on our way to church. Personally, while I'm dressing up in the morning, I like to have a podcast play, right? Just to make sure that I'm getting the information and I'm getting the learning in. And as I was saying, these days there's so many resources. If it's leadership we want to learn about, there's so many resources that can help us to learn about leadership. There's also a really good book, apart from John C. Maxwell's book, there's also a really good book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. You may have heard of it. I think I have a copy. Yes, it's by Dale Carnegie. And just a minute. This is the book. It's by Dale Carnegie. And then basically what Dale says in this book is that as individuals, we have to learn some particular character traits if we're going to be able to win friends and influence people. And I think that I'm not able to do this while I'm talking. And I think that it's something that we all need to learn from. It's a book that we all need to learn from, as leaders, because at the end of the day, we are trying to influence our teammates to work together towards a particular goal, right? So if we read books such as How to Win Friends and Influence People, then we are better positioned to grow our team, to together move with them towards our desired goal, towards our desired destination, right? And together influence them to do the actions that we all feel will better position us to get towards our goal, right? So John C. Maxwell's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, and even if we search podcasts, I'm sure that we're going to find so many ones on leadership that we can use, that we can learn from, that can help us become the better leaders that we want to be, that can help us to position our teammates to become better leaders. So at the end of the day, we can create more impact in whichever industry we are in. Yep. So I hope that these lessons have been useful. I hope you have an amazing rest of the day. And I hope that you continue to grow leaders in your team, right? And then continue to help them to grow and then to make the most of our lives. I think that we are all supposed to create impact in one way or the other, right? So if we continue to grow, I'm really glad to know that you are blessed that too. So if we help our leaders continue to grow, then we are also contributing to our purpose, right? So on this note, I wish you an amazing rest of the day. I'm up to find a Kobu now. Goodbye. Thanks so much for joining us. So goodbye.